Hey, it is Tuesday night. Welcome to Grumpy Acres. It's time for a
Hey.
live homestead update, weekly chat, talk about whatever you want. Actually, whatever I want. Hope you guys had a great week. Let's see who's in here. Say hi to everybody who's in here.
You went fast.
Skanes Girl,
Say hey,
Terminator,
Terminator.
the Rickster,
Hey, Tambra. What's going
Tamber from
on?
Texas is in here. Jane's in here.
Hey.
Skanes has been doing sweet taters and canning and being all kinds of
She's got to do it for the dog. She's doing dog food.
productive.
Mm-hmm.
HG's in here.
Hey.
He didn't get much done, he says.
Oh, I don't believe that. Instigator.
Let's see here. Who else is in here? Beth Emily? Lan, brother, what's up, man? Let's see. Rickster, Grateful Hearts Ranch. Hey, we are really glad you guys were able to make it tonight and join us for another weekly update. I hope your guys' week went well. It's been
eventful.
It's been eventful, productive. We got a lot done this last week. Yeah. We got a lot done.
Got a lot of stuff coming up. We got fruit coming up. We got
fruit.
Yeah, fruit? Oh yeah. So oh shoot. When he comes in, I'll have to ask Spags. Kabasa melon, I think is what it's called. And it's a mix between a
they're only that big, so they're not really coming in.
They're big. They're big. Yeah, they're a mix between a oh no, but the plants are coming in. Okay. Yeah, I smell what you're stepping in, but they're coming in. So plants are starting to come in. It's starting to look, kabasa melon. And yeah, so those are coming in and everything's looking great. Did you look in the raised beds?
No.
There's all kinds of little plants coming up and they're like, see me.
They all look like weeds.
They do.
Everything.
Don't pick.
Everything in there looks like weeds, and there are great big huge craters in the middle of the garden because of the stupid chickens.
The birds, yeah.
But we're working on it. We got
hogs.
The one.
Hey Shannon.
The one gardens by the chicken coop are weeded for the.
Are those ready for actual?
There's plants in there already.
Excuse me. Look at you, all productive.
There's lupa coming up.
See, now that I'm working, I miss a lot of the stuff.
I think there's some cucumbers coming up.
Okay.
All the Jerusalem artichokes are coming back.
Beautiful.
You know, so it's not as far along as what we wanted it to be. The greenhouse is going gangbusters.
Yeah.
We've been able to keep it watered. Actually, I've been keeping it watered.
You've been doing a great job.
And so the community members that have their seeds over here, they're going gangbusters.
Yes.
Ours finally started coming up. You've made how many harvests of the lettuce so far?
Oh my gosh, I need to go make another one. Seems like always something. So yeah, but I go out, I harvest, and then 2 days later I have to harvest again. Hey Andy and Mike. And so I'm dealing with that, trying to keep up with that, and then working and helping and doing that kind of stuff. But
and then we got mint coming up, and the sage is coming back.
Yes, everything's coming up. The big one, turkeys and chickens.
Tell them about the turkeys and chickens.
They are like coming in like gangbusters and doing all that. So I'm excited for everything hatch, get all that done out of the one incubator, the 2-story, and then
not me.
And then, well, I'm thinking, and then we're gonna fill that one up with duck eggs. And so we have some what I consider community members that are ready for ducks. And the guineas should be hatching anytime. Cowboy wants some of those, so I'm doing guineas for him. Do we want more guineas?
So we've got three incubators going at one time, and this run is going to be over the second week of May at the latest.
I think the first week of May.
So any eggs that don't hatch by the end of the second week, we're going to toss out, and we're going to start on our second run.
But I did do candling this morning before I went to work.
Oh, you did?
I did, and every egg looks very productive. So I'm worried about brooders. So that brooder you're going to make on Saturday for our spring fling, that has to come home.
Yeah, I knew that.
And right now I've got a chicken in with. Did you see that tuxedo chicken that was born today? Hatched today? I've got it in with turkeys, and it really shouldn't be.
HG doesn't want you putting the chicks in the freeze dryer because you're getting confused.
Did I say freeze dryer?
No.
Okay.
He's being HG.
Ornery. So right now sausage is in one of the freeze dryers. So, but yeah. So it's been really cool. But the tuxedo chicken is exciting.
I didn't see
It literally looks like a penguin, so I'm just calling it tuxedo chicken. So it's really not a brand.
What she's saying is we got a bunch of Heinz 57 chickens in here that look cool.
I think it's a cross between a California and American breast, to be honest.
Do we have Easter eggs? Are those the ones?
Yeah, we have Easter eggers, yeah. And green. They're kind of green sometimes, yeah.
Well, I noticed the first green one today.
Oh, you did?
They've been blue. Yeah, a green one came out today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, Doc, when he was buying them, they weren't sure. His son wasn't sure if they could eat the green ones, and he said those just have more protein. They were eating them because he knew we had Easter eggs.
Suburban kid.
Yeah, it was funny.
Well, and the concern about the chickens is a real one because we're going to run out of space.
Yeah.
So we decided we're going to take the chickens to the spring fling and we're going to sell them up until barter town. Then people can barter for them if there's any left.
Yeah.
And then
we'll start all over again and sell those.
Well, and the ones that we don't sell out of this run, we're going to put up on Facebook and Craigslist to see if we can't get rid of them.
Yeah. Well, we need some. We need to keep some.
But we figured we can go through 2 more runs.
Yeah, we've got
before it's too late.
Maybe three runs.
Yeah, I don't want to do it through the heat of the sun.
Well, it depends on what we're doing in 3 runs, right? So I think it'll be okay, but we'll see. I'll just have to be picky and selective with what eggs I take out. And right now we're also having a problem because our egg production is doing great. However, the egg sales are also doing great. And so right now the decision has really been, do we put eggs in the incubator? Do we use eggs to cook? Do we sell the eggs? So that has been a conundrum for a little bit.
It's a good problem.
It's a good problem to have. Yeah. So that's where we're at with that. Dad and Linda, mom, are coming sometime in May, maybe June. So they're going to take their time, and we don't mind. They can take their time as long as I know a week ahead. I can take off. You can take off. So, we can get the kids up here and that kind of thing. So that'll be fun to have everybody together.
So, and then this one last night, we had a bunch of potatoes that were getting long in the tooth. So she decided she had to do something with them.
Right.
So she made potato bread. Of course, I'm on a carnivore diet. So of course we make potato bread, and it's
gotta use them somehow, right?
The house smelled delicious last night. Well, I ended up taking them into work. I gave a couple away, and then put the rest in with the honor box for the eggs, and told people, hey, if you want to take some home, taste the loaf that's out, and if you want to take some home. But it got us thinking along the lines of the doing the side hustle.
Yeah.
Hey, look, not much. We're just discussing what all went on.
Yeah.
But the side hustle is something that we really need to lean on. And so we're thinking maybe she starts selling bread and her cinnamon rolls there on the reservation.
We'll try it. We've
delivering to the departments and stuff. So it's worth a try.
Yeah.
Yep. And we're not going to get rich at it.
No.
Not going to get rich.
It just keeps things from going bad. It keeps us, productive and that kind of thing. The guys at Co-op and where we get our feed, they're ready for more cinnamon rolls. Now they don't pay for them, and there's a reason why I don't make them pay for them. And you agree with me. Those guys will bust their ass for me and make any order I put in happen, and they do it fast. So, it's just the way they are. So, it's not like they're doing me a special favor. They'll do it for you too. But it's just nice to kind of give them something that they like, to just say thank you once in a while. Well, it's the country way. You just got to say thank you sometimes.
And these are the benefits. These are the benefits of getting local connections and reaching out to people and talking to people. Just basically talking to people you don't know and just creating those relationships. And and we gave them cinnamon rolls originally just to thank them for doing a great job. And they take care of her whenever she goes and gets the stuff.
I don't even have to tell them my name. They already know.
Yep.
what I need and how much feed I need and that kind of thing. They direct me in just fine. Usually I do a good job. Yesterday was a little.
You didn't. I mean, no,
well,
not a little off. You were a lot off.
I mean, not. No, it wasn't too bad. It was a little bit.
She has to put we got a construction bag that goes in the back of the truck, one of the big green ones, and then the feed drops. I think
technically they're called dumpster bags.
I don't know if I put that short up or not, but I made a video of it filling the truck up. Yeah, last time I was there.
Oh no, you didn't. But I didn't see it.
But you know, it's a hit or miss thing. So you got to park the truck just in the right place.
It's got to be just right.
Hit the.
And there's numbers on the side of the wall. I'm just trying to figure out the new truck, but the guys are too. To be fair, everybody's trying to figure out the new truck. It is a different size. You say it's not.
It's the same size.
We all say it's a different size. So, because usually I can pull up to R22 at the mirror and I'm fine. And now I can't do that. It seems like I'm shorter than that. But
hello, everybody. Just back from Lincoln. Susie had a watchman put in her heart at the Nebraska Heart Institute.
Wow. How's she doing? She's doing okay. Hacks had that done. And that's the same procedure Hacks was going through. So is that, I think the watchman is the temporary one to see if they have to do the defibrillator. I don't know. Scanes, maybe you can help out here, or Gregory. But I kind of think that's what it is.
Shannon says she's trying to make unleavened bread. Have you ever made unleavened bread?
Yes.
When did you make unleavened bread?
So I was still in the Catholic way.
Oh, I remember.
I remember that. Yeah.
I remember.
So I say in the Catholic way because my family is just, I tried. I really did. I tried with everybody's sacraments. I tried to keep everybody straight. And for some reason, other people in the neighborhood wanted to make them Baptist or independent fundamentally Baptist and all this crap, where the independent fundamental Baptist, that was a little bit scary. And Garen and I got it. Kids did not get it. And they were way too young to get it. They thought we were out of our mind. But any of you Catholics out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, but yeah, we did that. We did the unleavened. It was all for Easter and that kind of thing. So yeah.
I made unleavened stuff one time.
Yeah.
Whenever I made hardtack. If you guys have ever made hardtack, you ought to give it a try. It's a very simple recipe, and they will last forever. The little crackers you make will last forever as long as you keep them semi-dry.
Scanes. I've made unleavened bread by accident. Yeah, that happens too.
Hitting them margaritas and forgetting to put
that would have been thick too.
In.
Yeah, that would have been thick bread. But yeah, a lot of your flatbreads, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's perfect. It's a good way to do it. But
was the flatbread you made unleavened? Is that unleavened? I guess it is, huh?
Yeah, it's unleavened.
She made some. What was that?
Oh, it was beautiful. It was
was it naan?
No, it wasn't. It was a recipe from Greece, I believe.
If you're ever in Kansas City and you go to the city market in Kansas City, there used to be a place. I don't know if it's still there because it's been 3 or 4 years.
It probably is.
But there's a place where you can get the most delicious flatbreads. It's the Middle Eastern market.
It's the same naan bread that they sell at Sam's Club, I swear to you.
But she decided she was going to make it herself, and she did some really good.
I just got tired of paying all that money for that when I could make it myself. So,
man, to be fair, the hygiene at the place was a little skeptical.
I mean, the whole market is skeptical when it comes to hygiene. Hey, Starla, I did get your messages. I was dealing with something else and just getting off work, and I needed to make a run to get prescriptions and that kind of thing. So, gotcha, girl. Thank you for mailing those out, and I will be looking for them. And yes, we're ready for plants, right? She's going to start sending plants on Friday. So yes, we're ready. And anything that I owe you, you let us know, right? We don't expect that. So you just let me know. I appreciate your help in gathering everything. It does save us time.
Says Susie's fine. It's a filter put into the left atrial appendage.
Okay.
Helps prevent strokes when you have an AFib.
Oh, nice. Okay. Right. So not the same as what happened.
Not the same.
Okay. Yeah. So totally different. I wonder if that would work for cousin Meg.
So Scanes ate bread on Easter. It was supposed to be a croissant, and it turned out to be made out of calucha dough, but not what I thought was. I'm not sure what that is.
I don't know. Something new on me.
I went off Saturday night. I had a tiny piece of pizza and some breadsticks Saturday. So I was making cheese. That was my.
What else did you have?
I made cheese and I made yogurt and I made
a lot.
Saturday it was overcast and chilly, so I stayed inside most of the day.
And I wasn't home.
And
he had free range of the kitchen.
I finished rendering the lard off the sheep. We only got.
No, you did a good job. It looks good.
We only got maybe 3/4 of a gallon out of it. Would have got more, but frankly, I was tired of butchering animals after 2 days, and a lot of stuff that could have been rendered ended up going into dog food. Yeah. So the dogs have food for 6 weeks.
So when Hitch takes the animals to locker on the 5th, are you going to ask Hitch to ask for the lard? So we have all that, the tallow.
I actually made a video for you guys, and the phone portion of it where I was filming the stuff on the counter. Yeah, no good. No
in the
bueno.
Morning, nothing in the morning.
No bueno.
Was it morning or was it evening? I'm just
asking. It was the video whenever you were here. All right. For some reason, my camera quit working on my phone.
Because I walked in. I swear to you, it's a thing. You always tell me I'm missing so much footage off my stuff, and I'm telling you, it's just me walking in the room.
She gets off her blood thinners. That's cool.
Nice. Yeah. So my cousin is there's some stuff going on, and it's hereditary. She has it, and I may have it. I haven't been tested for it, but all signs point to yes. And I'm just dealing with it. But she went ahead had the same test that my uncle did, and she's such a trooper. Meg, I love you. If you're out there, I know you watch us, and I love you dearly. But she's more worried about, she don't want the blood thinners because she's got to get tattoos to cover up her spider veins on her legs. If she saw the blood thinners, you can't do it. So funny.
Camera's going to come up.
Nice. I can't wait to see everybody. It's going to be great. I think, Starla, are you still coming Saturday? You and Mark? I know that some unexpected things happened with Mark. So wasn't sure if you were still planning on coming up or not. And we do have to get Princess and some other goats sold. So just got to know what your plan is.
My adventures on Saturday. So I got a cheese making kit, and I've made soft cheese before. If you've ever made soft cheese out of fresh milk,
easy.
It's easy. It's easy peasy.
Yeah.
Hard cheese is a little bit different, and so I did it, and I followed some very, very simple instructions, and it turned out okay. It really did. I ended up with almost a pound out of 2 gallons of milk. Gave it to neighbor Chris. He had some today, and he said it was delicious.
Good.
And it hadn't even aged.
Well, that's good because the cheese
had not aged.
Beautiful.
But the day after, on Sunday afternoon, I started watching some videos about making cheese and learning more and more and more about it. And there's 5 or 6 more steps I could put into that to just make a really high quality cheese. So that's going to be my next step. I'm going to learn how to make a clabber, which, if you don't know what a clabber is, that's the starter for your cheese, and it's made out of milk. It takes about 3 or 4 days to make a clabber, but you can use it just like yogurt as a starter for your cheese.
That was new for us. We didn't know that. So
no, I didn't know that. Yeah. So I got to do the clabber, and then I'm going to start making the cheese and making bigger batches. It's funny, neighbor Chris, we're doing some freeze drying for other people in the community, and neighbor Chris brought some sausage over in a great big. How big would you say that pot is?
Oh, does he want that stock pot back? Because I don't want to give it back.
this thing is huge. It's got to be big. It's got to be a 6 or 7 gallon. I'm
guessing that is probably pretty close to 41 quarts.
He brought that over, and I said, "Oh, I want to make some cheese now."
Yeah.
Skanes would be learning how to make some quality cheese. That's what my mom said to do. Make a clabber. When you do it with old milk, y'all, I know love. Yeah, she does love cheese. She cuts it often, but he's never made it.
You one of those T-shirts that say "In my dust," so that you're just excused every time you
Starla's
walk.
offering to show us how to make cheese. Well, I know how to make cheese now, Starla. It's the refining of the skill and learning more how to do it.
Yeah, maybe she's got like, so every bread maker has a different trick, tricks, right? Yeah. And so maybe she could come in and show a few more tricks, and then you just take out of those tricks what works for you, right? Yeah. So it's just like anything in cooking and that kind of thing. Not one person, it's the right way, but it just, a lot of people don't realize that. And so that's what causes problems in the kitchen. But anyway, I digress.
So Skane says Starla needs to teach a class. Maybe that you guys talk about that and figure out how to do it.
Why don't we just do that here? You were talking about doing that.
But Angela's right about the little tricks. So I found a channel called Milkshaker. I think that's.
I don't know. You got to get it right. Give her some credit.
Anyway, I was watching her. She's the one that was making the cheese and stuff, and she was also making yogurt. And so just watching her videos for 30, 40 minutes, I learned how to make small batch yogurt, which I'm going to do a video on. And anybody out there that's done yogurt before knows exactly what I'm talking about. But I learned how to do that. I can now make my yogurt without using a thermometer. I know how to pasteurize the cheese and make it so it's cool enough. And
I just had an idea.
Hang on a second. You interrupt.
Nope, keep going. But I'm letting you know.
So the milk lady said we don't need to pasteurize the milk in order to make yogurt. And that is 100% correct, because it does kill beneficial things that are in there. But I was doing some experiment after watching her. So when you pasteurize the milk, it starts to denature the proteins in the milk, and it makes the yogurt more thick. It makes it thicker naturally without having to put.
Yeah, and you did that in a cooler, right?
Yeah, that's that small batch. Don't give away all the secrets. Sorry. I'm going to make a video on it.
Sorry.
But it's
ignore what I said.
There's these little things like she was talking about to learn the little tricks to make things better and all that. And I'll make unpasteurized yogurt too, because it's very
healthier
rich
for your gut.
It's not as thick, but it's very rich and very good. Yeah, Skane's the new Instapots do have a yogurt setting on it.
Oh, did you see what Starla said? So I'd like a copy of that. So my bright idea. Are you done, or am I cutting you off?
Go ahead.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking, Starla. If you get into an area where you can't come up here and teach that, what we could do, and now I'm getting back to where I can, is in the community page, we can put the ingredients out, and then we could do a live making cheese and teach everybody. Everybody could join the live, right? We don't have to pay for that one. No. And nobody would have to pay for it. Wouldn't have to be a subscription. We could just try it out. Maybe the first one is making cheese.
I don't know.
Starla,
it's a long live stream though.
I mean, how long does it take? What are you talking?
To do it all, it took me about 3.5 hours.
So, I mean, I see those going all the time.
I can't do 3.5 hours.
You don't have to. Starla and I could do it. I don't know. I imagine I could sit down doing it, so not a big deal. But
Starla, Rick says he'll buy a copy.
Yeah, Starla said that's a good idea. So, Starla, let's put our heads together. We'll try to figure it out.
Are you going to start? You keep talking about doing videos, but you never do.
So we were going to do the behind the scenes, and so we were going to do the Patreon, and we were also going to do the membership. None of that is set up yet. And I have been recovering. I didn't realize how broken I am. However, now that I have graduated from rehab and all of that, I started figuring out I can get my pans and how to fill everything and do all of that without me being absolutely broken by the time I'm done with it. So I think we could start again. And so as long as you guys don't mind, I got a stool in the kitchen. And so that's kind of how I do things so that I'm not back and forth. I know when I've done too much. So as long as you guys don't mind that, we can get that started. We just got to figure out how to get all that membership and that kind of stuff.
Break it into chunks, give free teasers and the whole package.
Well, that's what we were talking about. We give the free teasers. You get to was it membership? You get to see, but you cannot be part of the live. You don't get to make comments, and that kind of thing is after the fact. And then on Patreon, you will come in and then be able to comment, be able to cook with us, the whole 9 yards, get chef expertise, farmer's expertise, the whole 9 yards. So, you know what, babe? We're almost in May. That's 6 months out from the accident. I'm ready. I think I'm ready.
Starla, the clabber is the natural yeast. I've also peppers, serrano peppers, uncut serrano peppers, straight from the grocery store, can be used to make your starter.
Yeah.
And a lemon, take a lemon and cut it, and open it up and just stick the cut side down in the milk, and it can be used as a starter too.
See, new tricks for everybody. And Gregory's coming out absolutely loving. I did not do a video on bagels yet, and so maybe I need to do a bagel video.
I was impressed. I did not have any of her bagels.
My bagels ruin it for everybody. After they have my bagels, they're like, I can never buy another store-bought bagel ever again.
Shannon wants to know. Shannon wants to know when you're going to be back on there.
Girl, right now, so definitely not Thursday because I work until, was it 10 or 11 o'clock at night? So it just kind of depends on what's going on. And so part of the problem is, one, I'm tired. Two, I'm getting to the point medical bills are starting to come in, and I have a husband who gets very stressed out about that. And I got to be working. I just have to be a working girl right now, or magically our website has to be a miracle. And so the miracle is not happening on the website. So this girl's got to sling some,
talk to them.
This girl's got to sling some soda and that kind of thing. So that's what I'm doing right now. Trying to take my degree. I did apply for another job yesterday, and trying to take all of that, get that back in for the banking.
What if your current employer watches this?
Oh, they won't care. Are you kidding me? They're not going to care.
So Hogs, no, it is not rennet. Clabber is not the rennet. Clabber is just basically curdled milk, and that's how you start your cheese. Rennet, you can make rennet two ways. Number one, you can make it out of the stomach lining of young sheep and young calves. And another way is, which we're going to try, is the milk thistle.
Oh yeah,
flowers.
I know.
You take the milk thistle flowers.
I knew that.
And you. I don't know the process. I'm not going to lie.
Night timbre.
We
will. We'll love each other. We know that that's important. So,
but we can make our own rennet, so I don't have to buy rennet either. That's the goal here. We want to get to the point where we have the ability to do these skills without the modern convenience of a supply chain. Mm-hmm. If we're able to do it here, then that really does free us up. Mm-hmm. One thing I'm learning about eating off the farm and farm to table and stuff is our ancestors spent a lot of time doing stuff about food.
Yeah.
They did not have a lot of leisure time, and they spent a lot of their daylights working on food production.
And it is tiring. It is tiring. But you know what I can say, and not that it's not you underappreciated, but now, I'm really happy you're starting to see a lot of that. Cause like with my canning and stuff, he'd be like, you're up till 2-3 o'clock in the morning. That's ridiculous. You could do this at blah, blah, blah. But when you have that kind of load coming in,
you were starting late.
When you have that kind of load coming in, because you have to go pick, you got to cut, you got to trim and all that, it does take a long time. That's just with canning. I couldn't imagine with cheese and trying to do everything with lard, because they would take that in canning and they would actually use the lard in the meat, and that's what preserved everything. So yeah, it takes time. You got to have some dedication to do that. But I'll tell you what, and one thing over the last 2 months, we've been determined to do, well, he has everything farm to table. He done pretty good job.
Didn't do good this last week.
Well, you deserve a cheat day.
I stayed on the carnivore, but I ate some store-bought meat just because it was.
What'd you eat?
That ham.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have eaten the ham. But so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna start looking for some pork bellies. It's time to do bacon again.
We don't have any. We don't have any remedies for that, Starla.
For what? Yeah, we do. Pinch split. Yeah, we do. DMSO. Yes, ma'am.
It smells like crap.
I don't care. It works.
God, I hate when she uses that DMSO.
He hates it, but it works. So yeah, DMSO.
What else did we do this week?
Man, so I got out in the greenhouse. I did something else. Went and got feed.
Sons of hacks.
We had the chickens, turkeys. Been dealing with them, and then
so we've had 6 turkeys hatch, and we lost 2.
5, and we lost 2.
And we lost 2
because they always wake up and say, "How can I kill myself today?" And one was stupid enough; it got caught between the brooder and the feeder. Chickens will do the same thing too. So, but
turkey chicks the first week are pretty suicidal.
First couple weeks, yeah. And then so we got that going on. Mostly, like, seriously, because of all the experimenting and everything we've been doing, trying to figure out preserving food in different ways. Most of my time is set on dishes. And I'm looking at the sink right now. I have more dishes. Now, you've been helping.
There's only one dish in there.
But it's a big pan. I'm totally keeping that pan. Chris, Misty, you're losing your pan. It's more.
Suicidal poultry out there. Yeah. Sometimes it seems like it, Rickster.
Yeah. I don't know. I did go to town and I found some interesting plants. Oh, the sweet potatoes finally came in. So I got vines going, got all that going. And then interestingly enough, I've always wanted orchids for a very long time. And I went to Sam's Club and their orchids were on clearance because they were quote unquote dying. And so I looked at them, a bunch of them were wilted over and nasty looking and that kind of thing. And so I went through and just kind of picked them through. And I found one, I'm like, picked it up. It was so light. I was like, they need water. That's all they need is water. And so I brought it home and got this beautiful orchid plant for $10. And it's gorgeous. It is beautiful. You want to show it to them?
No.
No. Why? Because you didn't want to go pick it up.
I don't want to pick it up.
Okay.
$10 we can't eat.
Orchid? Yes, you can.
Oh, you can?
Yes. What are you talking about? That's food. That's food petals. Remember how last year I would take all the flowers that we could eat and I put them on the meatloaf and I would put them, just decorate certain things. I even have cooking videos on it and I would use the flowers. Those orchids are fine. What are you talking about?
Okay. Starla wants to know if you want old German Mennonite canning and preservation recipes.
Sure.
She doesn't speak German.
Yeah, they have to be in English. I have that problem right now. Garen gets me cookbooks and it's in Old English. I'm like, what the hell does this mean? And so then there's a lot of translation and things that are lost and that kind of thing. And it works out, but
I would think that you'd be curious and want to learn how to do that stuff and learn how to.
Oh, no. I'm not upset about those. No, don't worry about it. It's just time. Making the time. Right now I have time, Gaines said, not just canning for the dogs. Yeah, I knew she was. Gaines, what are you? She's going to put it in English. Great, thank you. Gaines, what are you? When are you planning on getting up here? Dad asked about that. My parents adopted Gaines apparently, right?
Well, they had needed at least one good daughter.
I mean, I guess whatever. So,
your aunt and uncle approve.
No, they would not approve of her. She would also be Satan's pawn. It's a long story, guys. I've been foraging all kinds of flowers and plants about to start freeze drying them. Good. Yeah. We actually have comfrey flowers up. I saw that. They look droopy though. Have you looked at them?
Yeah. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. Actually, it's supposed to rain
it's
tonight.
A water thing. I did notice that
it was cold the last 2 days.
Yeah, my magnolias need to be watered too. I got to get out there and water. Yeah.
Okay, Gregory. Good
See you later. I got chores too, but I don't think I'm getting off here for another hour.
Those cows won't feed themselves.
Right.
And they're probably waiting on you.
We had some kids come through. There was some kind of state thing, I guess, and Easter weekend, that kind of thing, traveling. And one kid comes through. He must
come through where? Work?
Yeah,
Okay.
came through work. And he must have been, I don't know, 22, 23. And he had his cattleman's jacket on, that kind of thing. And it was raining. And he was complaining about the rain. He said, I just wish it would stop raining. And I looked at him and I said, well, I'm looking at your jacket. You want to be able to feed your cattle hay, right? And he looked at me and he said, yeah, that'd be great. And I told him, I said, well, then we need the rain. We're about 4 to 6 inches off. We need more, trying to get out of the drought. But him and I had a really good conversation about that. He was actually from Colorado. And so we had a really good conversation about that. And I think it was a good thing.
Who runs the survival podcast? There, Bonnie Blue.
What are they talking about?
She said filling out an application as a guest on the survival podcast.
I
know the
never
name,
heard of it.
but there's so many of them out there. I can't putting names and faces together. Just
hard.
Oh, Jack Spirko. No, I'm not.
Oh, Jack. Yeah.
No, I'm not going to go on Jack's program. Sorry.
Oh, why?
Yeah, just because.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't even listen to him anymore.
Yeah.
And it's a personal decision. I've met him in person, and he's not the same person he was 10, 12 years ago. And he's an actually nice guy. Just no desire whatsoever. Hey, we live by our choices, right? Tell you what, one of the funniest interactions I ever saw was between him and Billy Bond, because at one point Jack had rubbed Billy the wrong way, and he was speaking at both of them were speaking at Self-Reliance Festival, and Billy's a troublemaker. He's like HG on steroids. He makes HG look like an amateur, but Billy goes, oh, he said some stuff. I'm gonna go up to him. I'm gonna act like I'm really upset, and tell him if he wants to say it to his face now. Well, he goes over there and just interrupts Spirko and goes into his little Billy spiel, and the look on Spirko's face was precious. And they started talking though, and they did not serve in the same unit at the same time, but they served at the same place, like almost simultaneously. And they started talking about how they chewed some of the same dirt at the same time, being in the Army. And they got talking, and now I guess
I remember that now.
I guess now they're not good friends, but they talk to each other and
get along.
They get
along.
They get along, yeah. But that Billy screwing with him was just funny as all get out. Darren and I were sitting back there just laughing.
Billy's a hoot.
Yeah, Billy's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
yeah.
These are the joys of being on the circuit that we were on. I'm not going to lie though. I don't miss being on the festival circuit this year. No, I don't miss it one single bit. Getting a lot done.
We're gonna go to Midwest though, and but Dave visits, right? And we're gonna sleep at home.
Yeah,
I can't camp. Okay. Yeah, no, I can't camp. I just can't do it. Honey, I'm hardly getting out of bed now. How am I gonna get out of a cot?
I'm gonna go out there for Saturday.
Oh yeah, okay. And then so I'll go Thursday. I'm with the Joel Salatin thing. And then Friday I'll go out, and then I'll go out Saturday with you. But yeah, just day visits for me. And then and then we have October as Self-Reliance Festival in October.
You do. Anybody that lives in the region and can make it needs to come to Midwest Preparedness Festival. It's
Hey, Mrs. Hacks.
It's a unique experience on the festival circuit, because it's not like a lot of the other ones.
No, that's not Spags. Spags will come in as Spags when he comes in.
Yeah, Spags will come in if he comes in.
Yeah.
They might be busy.
They got a lot of stuff coming up too.
Yep.
So we're all getting ready for the spring fling for Saturday, the 26th. I believe Spags and the crew are coming.
Are they?
Yes. And then a lot of the other crew. So I think a lot of them are coming. So this is going to be a mingling of several communities together, which is great, because I think we have Kansas City community coming in. We've got
the Native community,
Shawnee
maybe coming in.
Native community, Eric community. There's a ton coming in. It's going to be large.
Yeah.
So
the Midwest Preparedness Festival guys are Spags, Patrick Henry, Bullet,
I think it's just Spags and Patrick.
No, Kyle's in there too.
Oh, is he on there now? So yeah, so they're doing it. We've been there, done that, and we gratefully handed it over. Said, have at it. And they do a bang up job. We've got big speakers coming in, that kind of thing. They do a great job. So, but yeah, so Midwest is one to hit, and we'll hit that one in the fall as well. We'll see how I feel if we vend there in the fall. We will not be vending this year. So here's what I'm going to say. Anybody that's coming to the Midwest Preparedness Festival, if there's anything that you want that we have on order, pre-order it, and then we don't have to do shipping or anything like that. Do it through email, and I will package deliver to Midwest Preparedness Festival because I will be there. I'll be out there Friday and Saturday. So I know a lot of you like to treat us well. We love to make sure you've got good food. We just have to kind of pre-plan these things. Maybe you could do like an order sheet or something like that. I could put that out on Friday and bring everything Saturday. I could pull Friday night. Yeah. So maybe we can do something like that. Yeah,
you're running the seed exchange, aren't you?
Oh, I think that's like automatic. I don't think there's a question there. So though I have not been asked, I should probably.
I think Spags just expects you to do it.
Kind of, I'm thinking that's how it is. So I'll find out. But yeah, so, and that's Friday night. Yeah, I've done the freeze-dried ice cream, Starla. It's in the Midwest, freeze-dried ice cream. It's a very select group, so I don't do that in large abundance anymore. And you have too much go bad, and I'm not about wasting the food, and I don't want to feed that to my animals. So
do we have anything else on the update that we? Oh, I found a beer kit. When I was out putting stuff away from making cheese this weekend.
I wondered where that came from.
I found a beer kit. It's 3.5 years old, so I don't know how good it is, but we're gonna find out. I'm gonna brew my first batch of beer here, so that'll be fun. I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
Would you hush?
So
yeah. What you wanted to talk about something special? Don't mention any names. Don't mention any specifics about anybody, but you wanted to talk about.
Oh something. Yeah, you guys, it's so important, especially this time of year, and well, any time of year. We really need to be paying attention to our mental health. And mental health is so important. And sometimes we tend to forget. We can get into other things, either on the property or working and doing that. We just got to try to figure out how we're going to pull enough money into the household and that kind of thing. We tend to forget little things. So we not only have to make sure that we take care of our mental health, but we also need to make sure that we're taking care of all the youngers in our community and their mental health. And I have some things that are affecting me personally in my work life and that are affecting me in my family life and affecting me in the way that I'm super concerned, right? And so it's also important to make sure that when these things happen, that as moms, we do not beat ourselves up. It is not our fault. And so, or as wives, it's not our fault, or husbands, fathers, that kind of thing, right? So don't take the pain that they're going through and then turn it on yourself, where you can't even focus so much as to make sure that someone else is mentally healthy and that kind of thing. So, yeah. So you guys just make sure you're being aware of that. There's so much crap going on in our world right now. And so much that the kids are being fed and they're just not at the age that they can handle it. And not that they're not grown-ups, but we're sending some pretty, in society by itself, we're sending some pretty, I really want to say the F word, but I'm going to keep it clean. Some pretty messed up, twisted messages. And the kids are having a really hard time. And so we always had something in our family, and believe me, there was some, we were concerned about our children at one time or another. So
I'm not gonna lie, you were more concerned than I was.
Well, when your son doesn't want to get out of bed to go to school, there's a problem. And so, and he told me why. He was always very honest with me, and I was concerned. You're talking about the earthquake thing. Yeah, no, that was the thing too. But this is not that. This is not that light. And so we just need to make sure that we're taking care of each other and not blaming ourselves because somebody else is going through something. It's just one of those things. Sometimes we got to step back. We need to let things happen, but be there for them and pick them up when they fall. Yeah. And so, because we all fall, we all do. And so, but yeah, mental health is so incredibly important. And my heart is breaking for some people right now. So I'm going to step away for a minute.
Okay.
I didn't know that affected me this much, but it really does. That's sad. You'll just take care of each other and be healthy mentally. Don't ever forget that. You want some water?
Give me some water while you're up, please. Well,
why do I have to trip over dogs?
Because they love you. They love you. All right, guys. Now,
I'm sorry.
Angela's right. It is a huge issue, and I've been pretty honest with struggling through a lot of stuff the last 3 years, and I understand. There's a lot of stuff out there now that would cause people to have a hard time, especially if they're not equipped with dealing with it. Had I not grown up a Gen Xer, some of the stuff I went through the last 3 years probably would have done me in. But simple fact is, I drank out of a water hose and had parents that told me to rub dirt on it, so I was able to man up and go through it and just tell the world that I'm fine and carry on. You know what I mean? A lot of people can't do that. Let's see what else went on in the world today. Oh, well, the world changed on Monday. It changed very dramatically, and I don't think a lot of people realized it. First off, the Pope died, and on Easter Monday. And to any Catholic that's out there, you guys are in my prayers. I hope that your replacement takes care of you. I hope whoever the replacement is takes care of you and is not like the last pope that they had, because the last pope they had was a communist, and quite frankly, he was an anti-pope. And anybody that's crying right now over his death should be crying because of what he did to the Catholic religion. And hopefully they're able to fix it. Now, whether that's going to happen or not, I don't know. And yes, Rickster got the second part of what happened on Monday. Charles Schwab quit the WEF. Now, the Pope was 88. Charles Schwab is 87. And I was listening to somebody this week, listened to him yesterday, as a matter of fact, and they made the point that these guys, the Pope passed away because he's been in ill health a long time, and I really, I don't want to sound like I'm dancing on his grave, but I'm not. I just hope the next one does better by you guys. But Charles Schwab got out because he's getting old, and they passed the torch on to a new generation. The next generation of these people is going to take over. Now the question is, are they going to be better or worse? We know that George Soros's kids are much more hardcore socialist Marxists than he was. So they could be going through their death throes and just fighting it, or they could just be getting people that are more dedicated to taking over the world than before. Yeah, Rick, the whole Black Pope thing, the conspiracies and stuff are fun, or the prophecies, or whatever you want to call it, are fun. I'm not holding too much faith in it. We'll just see what happens, right? There's a lot to be said about what could come out of it, but it's whatever it is, it's going to be God's will, and we'll just deal with it, right? Oh, I say Charles. Oh, Charles Schwab's the insurance guy. Sorry, Bonnie. So Klaus Schwab quit as leader of the World Economic Forum. There we go. Yeah, I can't believe I said Charles. It's been a long day. We had a very long day at work. But anyway, so the world's changing. You know, we see it. We see it around us in the country. There's a pretty strong argument to be made that Trump is losing the battle against the deep state. Right? There's a very strong argument to be made. And part of the reason is because he's following the rules. Oh, there you go. Charles Schwab is a stockbroker. But you know, we're fighting an uphill battle against the deep state, and Trump is following the rules. You know, he says, okay, well, the courts are saying to do one thing, so I will follow the rules and do what I'm supposed to legally. And the left doesn't care. The left doesn't care about the rules. They care about procedure now, though. Do you notice that? Did you notice that with the illegal immigrants? All of a sudden, they're about the Fourth Amendment protections. This is the very same people that are railing against the deportation of illegal aliens are the ones that champion and applaud red flag laws that literally violate Americans' Fourth Amendment rights. And so they care about the procedure as much as it can give them power. And that's the way they look at everything. In fact, if you look at anybody that is left-leaning politically that you know, and you look at what they don't do anything for truly altruistic reasons. There's always a reason to get control or to make somebody do what they want to do. You know, and that's the difference. That's the difference between the left and the right in this country. You know, there are people on the right that want control, but they are to the left of most of the people here that I know of, right? And it's an Overton window, and they don't believe in liberty. They believe in their ability to get people to do what they want to do. So we need to be aware of that and make sure that we're fighting against it. Well, they're free now, but they weren't for almost 4 years, actually longer than 4 years, if I remember correctly. You know, and I think there are some J6ers that are still in, but they're the ones that should have been in. You know, but where's the justice in it? Bonnie says, we know what is written, walk in faith and have shalom. The beast will roar and we have to endure it to the end. Yep, absolutely. God won't give us any burdens that we can't carry, at least without his help, right? Or at least with his help, I should say. Man, I'm just all kinds of over the place. I'm all over the place tonight, aren't I? Can't talk right. It's been a long day. We did an office move that took about 4 hours this morning, and it just was burned out after that. But I'm glad you guys showed up. I'm glad you guys are here and we can talk about this stuff. Let's see what else went on. If you guys saw the community post I did today, I could not help myself. The whole in space, they can't hear you, girl boss. The LARPing, the live action role playing that these people have been doing the last week, just got to me. I'm like, man, no, not a blonde moment, just an old age and head trauma moment there, Rickster. But all the LARPing that's been going on, these people just driving me nuts. And I had to make fun of Katy Perry and crew with the little thing that I did. You're back.
I put myself together.
Are you more put together?
A little bit more, yeah.
Okay.
Still, I think what I said is important, and
yeah,
I have a kind heart, and my heart hurts for these people. It really does.
Here's something you guys need to do. You need to find yourself somebody that looks at you the same way that Senator Van Hollen looked at the MS-13 gang member down in El Salvador. She used to look at me longingly like that guy. That picture, that him having the margaritas with the MS-13 gangbanger.
What are you talking about?
You
Get out of here. I didn't see
Senator
that.
Van Hollen from Maryland went down and demanded to see the Maryland father.
I knew that. Yeah.
But there's a picture out there where they're sitting there having margaritas, and he's looking at him very lovingly, the way you used to look at me 20 years ago, and you don't look at me like that anymore. But you guys need to find somebody that looks at you the way the Democrats look at illegal alien gangbangers, because that is true. True. I mean, it seriously, it looked like an ad for a grinder. For grinders, what it looked like.
No, you're joking.
No, he was looking at him like yes, it looked bad.
Interesting. Rosie popped in. I missed her. I must have been talking.
Yep.
So Michael Noyes, what?
Strike. Oh, was Michael Knowles saying the same thing?
Oh, Knowles.
I saw that photo and I was like, man, he's in love with this dude.
Nobody can quite figure out why he's chasing him down. So.
But the thing is, they won't make comments on the news. They won't say anything about the Maryland mothers and fathers who lost their children to illegal aliens, but they will use taxpayer money. And yes, it was taxpayer money to fly down there.
It is. It's all taxpayer money. And I get very frustrated where I'm working right now. I would say pretty close to 45% of the customers that we have coming in cannot speak a lick of English, don't know how to count money, and have no idea how to translate except for through their phone as to what they're needing. And it's frustrating. It is. So, because I know from past experience, when you go down to Mexico, you need to know how to speak Spanish.
Yep.
It's not tolerated. So, but I can't get nasty.
No, you can't.
Got to deal with it.
Well, these are the things we're up against, and I'm trying to remain positive, but they make it so hard sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
They did it.
I have figured out how to tell the trafficker from the ones that are trafficked, though. They make it pretty damn obvious.
How's that? Share it with everybody.
So you want to look for the person in the group that has the most gold chains on their neck, the most rings, the most earrings, that kind of thing. Those are the ones that are collecting all the money, and they like to show how much money they're making.
Do they wear the cockroach killers?
I have seen a cockroach killer.
Those boots with the really long pointy toes.
No, like, I'm not kidding. Most of these are women. So women are dealing with the girls and the women. I mean, I have seen that, but yeah, I don't know. It's weird. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and I don't know. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be able to stick with it. So I just want to grab every girl and go, "Are you okay?" So I don't know.
They wouldn't understand you.
They would have no idea what I'm saying.
Oh man, I shouldn't be making fun of that. It's terrible.
I'm not making fun of it. This is a thing.
It's a terrible thing.
No.
Zach's birthday is during Midwest.
Ah.
The 10th. He'll be 25. Good for him.
Yeah. The hell's Maddie going to be? 22 this year?
Yeah. Representative James Comer has been refusing requests for taxpayer money to be used for the Democrats' flights to El Salvador. Well, that's good. I mean, if they want to go to El Salvador to champion for illegal aliens, they should do it on their own dime, period. Of course, the people of Maryland voted these people in, so let the people of Maryland pay for it.
No,
I got no problem.
That's not going to happen either. It's all federal money. So.
Okay. Speaking of that, I'm going to open up a can of worms. Oh, you reminded me of it. Okay, guys, listen.
Sorry, guys.
Listen, in the chat, I want you guys to hear me out on this and tell me what you think. So, I don't think the Trump administration should be suing any state over the transgender female athlete that the federal government should not be wasting a single penny suing the states because they're not following the executive order, period. It's a state issue. If the people in the state want it, then they can have it. It's federalism at its finest. You can't, the federal government can't force the states to do anything, right? So there I am. I am now in favor of transgender sports.
I got a problem with that.
Okay, now here's the second part of this. Okay, what the states want, like, and Harvard wanted this. I think I pointed out last week. They want the ability to ignore the executive branch of the United States and to collect money from the federal government for their state. Now, personally,
was for the university.
The state gets it too. The state education system gets money. The state gets all kinds of money.
Okay.
And I am 100% for the states. If they want to have transgender stuff, they can have it. But I'm also 100% for the federal government saying, okay, we're not going to give you any money, period. And I understand that that's a sword that cuts both ways, because whenever Democrat gets in, they're gonna pull that on conservative states or red states or whatever you want to call it. But the difference is that the blue states are infringing on people's rights. Let's face it. If they want to promote trans athletes competing in women's sports, then they are taking rights away from females. Period.
Rickster says no trans athletes here in Utah. You want to bet?
Follow federal laws or lose federal funding. Yeah, exactly. They're getting a thunderstorm down in Louisiana.
Yeah, we got some coming in. It's going to rain all week.
So it's a double-edged sword. But as somebody who believes in the Constitution, you have to take that stance. We can say that trans athletes are bad, but if the people in a state don't want to do anything about it, what is it our business? Can
I come from a woman's side here?
Okay.
Because I hear what you're saying. I really do. Okay. But here's what I'm saying. You have women's sports, you have men's sports, period. If you want trans to be able to come in, then you have trans sports.
Okay.
Right? So you can actually do 3 different clubs there, however you want to call it. It is not fair that you have women's sports. Men don't care. The men's sports, they don't care if they have some kind of trans come in there, because their strength, they're gonna beat them every single time. But when you have men coming in as quote unquote trans, coming in as sports, that's unfair. No, like seriously, and this isn't life ain't fair type deal. No, this is somebody.
No, it's dangerous.
It's dangerous. You could really hurt somebody. Men have strength much more than women.
But if a state like Maine, who's getting sued by the federal government, if the state like Maine is so screwed up that they hire politicians to enact their will and do that.
So what I'm saying is perhaps they're looking at it the wrong way. Perhaps what they should be doing is trying to find a president that presidents that states that because there's a women category, a men category, then add a trans category, right? I mean, they're putting women in a lot of danger.
Yes, they are, but you're missing the point. It's not the federal government's business. It's a state business.
I get what you're saying. So I get it. Okay, so what you're saying, federal should just mind their own business, but the state should be taking care of it, and the people need to be standing up to the state.
And if the state of Maine or the state of California or the state of New York doesn't stand up and take care of these girls, then they're going to get exactly what they deserve.
Well, here's what's going to end up happening. They're going to do that, and even though they're at state colleges, high schools, that kind of thing, guess who's going to get sued by those people? It's going to be the federal government. Period.
No, they won't.
Oh yeah, you want to bet?
Well, there's the problem. There's the problem, Skange. You say what you said with the complete understanding and knowledge that they don't. And unless we
2022, Rickster, it's 2025.
Unless things start happening and we force these people to live by the repercussions of their decisions, then nothing will change. They want transports, but I haven't seen any federal funding pulled. They're suing these states to force them to comply. So the way they should force them to comply is to take the funding away.
You got to do both of them, yeah.
Okay, hang on, right?
No, Rickster, I'm going to look into that. I don't think that's right.
That one?
Yeah, but there's one that they followed up with. So.
I think the Fed should sue on certain circumstances. Examples, my state of California, the schools can change kids' gender without parent notification or approval. And that was signed by the governor and the state legislation, not the people. Yeah. Well, then the people should be suing the state. And I understand what you're saying. That at that point, yeah, maybe there's a DOJ stepping in is appropriate because of the civil rights involved there. They're violating the parent's civil rights. And again, the federal government could fix this very easily. The state of California would not be in the mess it's in if the federal government would just take all their money away from
Look at what Bonnie Blue is saying, and you are so correct. And yet, I do believe transgenders are getting Title IX. It is happening. And so in some states, because all they have to do is identify. It's ridiculous.
Now, if they're violating those laws, yeah. Yep. If they're violating Title IX and things like that, yeah, I mean, there's that. But a lot of what's going on isn't that.
No, they're just trying to make a statement.
If I have a daughter I wouldn't want to hurt, yes, the state should step up and make place for trans to compete in their own divisions.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Just make it, put everything on a fair level. Right. I think we've got so ridiculous with all of this. What was the women's movement?
Well, that's just it.
No. What was the women's movement? It was like in the 70s, and it was like, I can't remember. You want to help me with it? It was like, we are men and that kind of thing. And that's BS. They pulled that from World War II when women had to step in the factories. Right. So you had Susie, the whatever. And so that little poster, and yeah, we can do it. But, you start fighting men and all that. And I remember when I was in karate, and so I've got the experience. When I was in karate, there were actually, when I would go and compete, because I literally had 6 feet tall grown men. And here I was, 11, 12-year-old kid, like literally what I did didn't count. Because they nixed it. They said, no, you're disqualified from that competition. I had to go through it, but then I was disqualified, and I was disqualified because I was fighting a man. And I get it's different times, but where did we lose that? Right? It's not
fourth wave feminism. See, but you're arguing a separate issue.
Am I?
Yeah, you're arguing.
I kind of feel like it all meshes.
It makes perfect sense to protect the girls, and if these trans guys want to do these sports, then they should do it against other trans guys. Yeah. But they can't. They can't do that, because if they do that, then they're just competing against other men like they were before, which is why they want to compete in the women's sports.
So a little sarcasm here. So they need to be quote unquote winners and doing something, so they're going to come take on the women.
This is the Leah Thompson.
So again, let's just cancel women altogether.
The Leah Thompson guy was ranked 207th in the world in swimming, so like very low in men's swimming in the national collegiate rankings.
Yeah, he came over and he was number one.
He was number one in women.
Of course he was. He has more muscle mass. I mean, that makes perfect sense. So yeah. Dang, yeah. I don't like that. I really don't like that.
But I started thinking about the federal government being involved in this. And it's not, the federal government being involved is not going to change anything, because the problem is at the state level and only at the state level. can it be taken care of?
Mm.
And so if 90% of the state of Maine does not want this, then they need to be out and they need to be protesting.
Yeah.
They need to be out there and in the streets striking and doing whatever.
I know I would. My daughter wouldn't be competing in that crap. No way.
You know.
But I also know her attitude. She's a lot like her mom, if not worse. She'd be out there. She would be standing up.
Yeah, that's part of it too there, Len. You know, and I'm not bashing these people. You know,
No,
they've got to
let people be people, but
they've got a mental health issue,
right.
and they need some what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, you just
guidance,
you know,
examples,
a little prayer.
How many of the
No, but they do. They need help.
I can't believe you said that.
And not trying to fix the problem that they have is in my mind worse than what they're doing by allowing them to compete with women. I mean, seriously, these doctors are doing nothing for these people. You know, I saw a map of 2005 of the gender institutes in America, and there was one in 2005, and there are over 200 in America today. In the past 20 years, there's over 200 of them now. And
200 what?
Gender institutes where these people can go get hormones and psychological counseling to help them become better trans people.
Really?
Yeah, there was only one in the country in 2005. You know.
So this is a thing the government's pushing then.
Well, it is. It all started. The whole movement started in the Marxist movement in the late 60s. You trace a direct line back to Marxism.
Well, what's so sad is they think that they're doing something great because right mentally, but in society, and I don't care what society you put them in right now, they all want to free Palestine for some reason. You drop them in Palestine, they're going to be dead in minutes. Palestine's not going to put up with that crap. Muslims don't like gays. So, I mean,
again, it's a mental illness.
It's sad.
Much of the left is mental illness, to be honest with you.
Sad.
All right. You know, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go on. I don't want to sound like I'm on a rant against trans people because I'm not. I'm on a rant against the people that enable them and hurt other people in the process. That's who I'm ranting about. I could care less if somebody wants to live like that. Just don't force it on other people. All right. You know, don't sit there and tell straight guys that they should date trans women in order to fight hate. Don't force.
What?
Yes, there was actually an article about that. Don't force young ladies and little girls to compete against people that will tear them apart physically. You know. Follow the fad. Yep. Follow the money, enable and normalize everything important. Yep. That's part of it. And that's what we're fighting against here, folks. This is why, thank you for saying that, Lynn, because that is a great segue. You know, one thing we want to do, I keep saying it over and over again, is we want to paint a better picture than the other guy. And quite frankly, at this point in time, it should not be very hard for you guys to paint a better picture than the other guy. You know, because the picture they paint is so dark and so abnormal that you should be able to do it with one hand tied behind your back. Seriously.
Sometimes it's just hard when you're a kid and you live in really liberal populated places. It's hard to filter that, right? So
oh, hang on a second. I gotta go. The dog is chewing on the broom.
Dustpan. No, it's the dustpan.
It's a dustpan.
Yeah.
She's destroying the dustpan.
So anyway, so like there's that stuff going on. I don't know. You already talked about the Pope, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be really interesting. So if you go back and oh gosh, there is a book that I read. Nostradamus actually predicted that he would be the last Pope. So let's see what ends up happening. Yeah. And Nostradamus hasn't actually been off too much, but we'll see. We'll see kind of how that works. Giving him to Pheasant sterilizes them. Part of the push. Yeah, it is skeins. Yeah, I don't like it. That really bothers me that that's the way they're doing things. And they're also doing the same crap they did back in the 60s and telling everybody your footprint is too large. And so you should only have 1.2 children. And I just think that's ridiculous too. And I keep my mouth shut, but I do have family members that believe that way. So it is what it is. Anyway, what's on Rabbit's channel? I posted
They
it.
They were talking about homeschooling.
Oh, okay.
Well, I really don't have anything else for tonight. I just kind of shot my
It'll
load.
just be gossip and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, and like don't use that phrase you were getting ready to say. The guys will like it. The girls are going to go, ew.
It's a shotgun thing.
Okay. Anyway.
Get your mind out of the gutter. My gosh. Such a perv.
Anyway.
Such a perv.
Yeah.
All right, guys, listen. I don't have much of anything else. I mean, that just concentrating on working this week and getting things ready for the weekend.
The weekend's going to be busy. Busy.
Bonnie.
Bonnie.
You shouldn't have done that. Thank you.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Oh.
So there you go. There's your new camera or microphone you were looking for.
No, it's for medical bills.
Medical.
She said it's for medical bills.
Oh, Bonnie, no, you should not have done that. No, that's why I get my butt out and I work. Just do what I can and get everything done. But thank you, Bonnie. Really, really appreciate that.
Next time you want to do that, Bonnie, go down in the affiliate links and buy yourself something. Seriously, go down and buy a rock pot or a
do something to help yourself.
Do something to help yourself, and then that way you help us in the process. Yeah. But we do appreciate it. I don't want to sound ungrateful because that's a way more than we could ask for.
Yeah.
It's for the mental health bills for me. That would be brewing beer and drinking whiskey.
He's got that taken care of.
Yeah,
but
I'm pretty good.
Now they want to put something on me. It's a bone growth stimulator. And so some company from Kansas City is supposed to be calling me, and I got to wear this thing a few hours every day. So we'll see what happens. I got that phone call on Friday. We're now on Tuesday, and I haven't got the phone call yet, which is funny because I have my follow-up on the 6th. And so I'm kind of interested to see how that's going to work if I don't have that caller on.
Highlight that just to say thank you again.
Yeah, definitely should be highlighted. But so I don't know, all kinds of new devices and that kind of thing. Oh, on the good front, I went and picked up medicine today for myself, and I had no copay. Good thing, bad thing. I'm going to look at it in the positive light. We have now met our family deductible, and we have no deductibles we have to pay for the year.
Oh, so I can get as sick as I want.
No, don't do that.
I'm going to stop taking my pills.
Why would you do that?
So I don't have to pay a copay.
No, you don't have to pay a copay right now. So no, don't make yourself worse in order not to do it. When you go get your medicine, you shouldn't have to pay anything for it. So
Starla says the bone thing works.
Does it? Okay, we'll see. I got to get it first. So I haven't got it yet.
Oh, address, by the way.
Address? What address?
Our P.O. box.
Oh, ours? Oh, yeah. Don't use it anymore.
Don't.
Well, if you do, not a big deal. It'll come straight to the house because I did a forwarding address. So we just come to the realization that y'all just ship everything to our house anyway. So we really don't need the P.O. box. There's nothing to hide here, and we can take care of it.
Arkansas can now buy ivermectin over the counter.
I can buy
ivermectin. But we have to follow federal law, and it's not OTC. So it's not over the counter because of the federal law.
Huh, that's interesting. You can buy it here. Just go to Missouri, go to Kansas.
You got to buy it from a medical person, though, don't you?
In Missouri and Kansas? No, you can get it at Tractor Supply.
Ivermectin?
Yeah.
Ivermectin?
We got a jug right there.
Oh, but that's sheep dip.
Isn't that what he's talking about?
No, he's talking about ivermectin. People ivermectin.
Oh, the tablets?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I can get you that for $1. $1 a piece, and
Yeah, but you have
there's
to go
10
through a
strip.
medical. You have to go through a medical person.
I mean, you do, but you get it at cost, and it's like we have a hookup. So
Thanks for sharing that with everybody.
Well, I'm not going to fill everybody's stuff. I can't. That's at their discretion. But
that's not who who I care about. It's the feds that are listening.
Oh yeah, no, that doesn't happen around here. Well, yes, it does. So yes, it does. So let me do this. So when you go through an independent family practice, and like the doctors and all of that they've got set up, you pay a subscription. It would be like what your insurance cost is, right? Except cheaper. And I think right now it's $75 per person if you come in, and you'll get on a waiting list, that kind of thing. And then they put you in. They will see you. They are doctors. They have nurses. They've got everybody. They will see you. And then if you need something outside, they set up and actually do the bartering and that kind of thing most of the time. Like if you need an MRI, X-ray, that kind of thing, they'll set that up. If you're sick and you go and see them, then all of your medicine is at cost. It really is. So they don't screw you over on that. So I don't know what I said out of line that the feds would take off with, but I mean, they know about it. There's several in every state. I know there's several in Missouri, several in Kansas, that kind of thing. We have the mafia down here, right? Yes, you do. There's a mafia down there. They don't control the medicine.
The lake mafia.
Yeah. You say lake mafia, it's Ozark mafia.
No, there's a difference. Lake mafia is different than Ozark mafia.
Oh, that's right. We gave him his own mafia, didn't we?
Yeah. Bill's part of the lake mafia.
Yeah, I guess they do have a place.
His main point was passing a law that they know that actually doesn't make a difference. Empty political theatrics. Well,
yeah. See, Grateful Hearts has it. They have a horse paste, apple flavored. Like what is everybody complaining about? Like seriously, why are you afraid to take the ivermectin all the animals take? Well, I don't get it.
You're missing the point that HG was trying to make.
That he has to go through a doctor for fish mocks. Now you have to do that. Most vets, that's all they're prescribing. And so, the veterinarians for animals. So hopefully everybody's stored up on that before it went to the point you had to have a prescription for it. Asked to use dried skunk meat to make, I don't understand that, but
did you mean to type meat there, Starla? Anyone with asked to use dried skunk meat to make a tea, it works.
Not happening here. Nope, not happening here. You will suffer.
All right, guys, listen. We're rambling and we're not accomplishing much anything.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to do.
Listen, thanks for showing up tonight. I'm sorry
you guys are so entertaining. I love it.
I'm sorry I went off on that tangent about the federal government and all that. I was thinking about that today and I wanted to hear what everybody had to say about it.
Skunk tastes like cat. Just saying no.
Well, I've had
it does.
I've had cats, so I know what it
it's a polecat. I never had cat.
All right, guys. You got anything you want to tell these people before we go?
Well, I would like to say, and I would like to suggest that you be at least 10% better tomorrow than you were today. Make sure you keep your mental health straight. Make sure the family around you, their mental health is supported, and because you can't do it for them. But make sure you give them as much support and love as you possibly can. And you want to take over? You're reading comments.
So. No, I'm just. Starla's going to call you.
Okay, that's fine. I think a lot of people. I had a lot of texts. We'll see what's going on.
But listen, guys, we do really appreciate you guys showing up and being part of our Tuesday nights. Seriously, take care of yourselves. Physically, mentally, spiritually. It's coming to a point where these things are very important, and we're going to be faced with some challenges that we have not faced as a nation in quite a while, and how we navigate these issues are going to be stuff that they talk about in the history books. All right. And we need to make sure that we're on the right side of history on this. You guys go out tomorrow, go live a life done free, take care of yourselves, and have a great day.
We love all of you all.
All right.
Be blessed.
Take care.